All right, so we're going to end it on something that's been killing me because I got into a huge debate, I guess. I didn't want to say an argument, but it was more of an argument. We raised our voices. It was about home field advantage. So now in our case, I was talking to a colleague of mine, coach, I do a basketball show called Fluent and Chill. And we both played college ball, and we talked about home court, and he's of the mindset that you go and play. It doesn't matter whether you play in here, there, everywhere, you go out and play. And my thing has always been for basketball, so I'm going to ask you the football side of it. But in basketball, listen, I see players when they're at home, they're more comfortable. You see those, especially not superstars, but especially role players. You see them, they shoot a better percentage. They have a different kind of attitude about them that you can tell that they're more comfortable at home when people are cheering for them. Some people just can't handle the boos. And so I think to a certain extent, for the majority of players, yes, there is a home field advantage and it helps. So we got into it a little bit. I want to put it to you guys in football. How, and it kind of try to scale it too, right? Is home field advantage a thing? Does it really make you better? Do you have a better chance of winning at home than you do on the road?
Heck yes, you do. There's no question. Yes. It's not even a question. Right. I mean, the GOATs of our era and the GOATs of basketball, football, baseball, whatever that is, they're probably the only people that can go a different place and find a way to get it done. The majority of your team, 80% of your team, they'd rather be at home in their comfort and their surroundings and their environments that they're used to and know exactly what that's going to feel like and look like in order for them to play at a very high level. That's why coaches, we try to create the same things at home on the road as much as we can. We want sameness. So guys, so guys feel comfortable, that it feels the same, even though it's not. We try to take that mentality. It's us against the world. We're going to lock everybody else out, and this is ours. Well, that only takes you so far because it's not yours. It belongs to them, And so, but yeah, you got to find a way to get through that. But there's no doubt you have a home field advantage when you play at home.
I know it's on the business side, but do you like being at home because you get a little more, extra little revenue there is probably a good thing?
I think, well, like we talked about earlier, what's my job? What coach says, like replicating that home field when you're away, the home field advantage, like my job is I'm the curator of that, right? Like, so in my role, we have to transition, like whether we're staying at home hotels, if you stay at a home hotel before your home games, when you stay at a away hotel, you try to replicate that same experience. The transition, ingress and egress to and from the stadium. What does that look like when you pass through your fans and you're doing your walk or you're doing the stuff, you're engaging in your relationships? I've been at, now 2 schools, because Tennessee State, we play at Nissan. So we say home field advantage, but it's not on our campus. It's an NFL stadium. I was at Georgia State University when we played at the Georgia Dome. I was the DFO there, so we didn't play on our campus. So that was a unique experience because you had to replicate. You tried to create, a home field, environment. When I was at the University of New Mexico was a great state, great fan. Come to the game, and it was like you're on campus and you're like right there in the heart of it. It was really, it was really cool. I personally think there's a huge advantage to playing at home. Huge advantage. And we try to play. You try to play as many home games as you can. Sometimes you try to say, you're going to play half and half. In our situation at TSU, because we rent Nissan, we have to pay a fee to rent Nissan. Like sometimes we're limited on the number of home games that we can play from an affordability factor, right? So, we're working to get back to Hill. We want to get back to campus. We meet regularly trying to build those feasibility studies on getting us back onto campus to play at home because it's huge. I mean, it's such a huge piece for your kids. It's a familiarity. The scenery is familiar. The air is familiar. The way the sun sets is familiar. All the way down. I'm being honest, like everything matters in the moment because, it's, and you want to throw the visiting team off. That's why you see like visiting locker rooms that suck, right? They put you They don't put you in Taj Mahals when you visit, but then you go to the home locker room. It's beautiful, right? So there's a huge advantage all the way down to that stuff. So it's
Hey, there's
I play
there's
all
a
the
reason.
games at home.
There's a reason pro teams, right, work to get one of those top 4 seeds so that they can have Game
Yes.
7 at home.
Yes.
There's a reason.
Yes.
That was my argument.
Yes.
So Dusty, I want you to know we're 0 for, I think, 9. I got to check my scoreboard, but I'm guessing 0 for 9. Everyone who comes on the show, we ask them this final question to end the show.
He'll
And
get this one.
and we're I'm hoping that we're gonna finally get one on the plus side here. The most famous person, not sports related, it could be sports, but just the most famous alumni at in TSU history.
The most famous alumni?
Yes, sir.
I mean, Oprah is.
There you go. There you go. We got one. You were the
He
first. You are the first person to answer that correctly.
I was gonna say young buck, Coach Jackson, but I didn't know if he was more famous. Or like,
It depends how old the person is that you're asking. Is probably.
Absolutely.
yeah. But that's actually a tricky question because there's so much storied history at Tennessee State and alumni, and so Oprah's obviously, like you said, the most famous, but there's a ton of people that have gone there and gone on to do really great things on and off the field. So
do you, off the top of your head, can you give us a couple? Because we always end with this question, so we always end with talking about Oprah. But
well, you have Richard Dent and Clyde Humphreys, who are gold jackets in the NFL Pro Football Hall of Fame. You have 121 players that have been drafted. I mean, I'm using football right now, but
of course. Hey, listen, you just brought up Richard Dent, so I don't know if you can see behind me. That's the right one to start with, right there.
Chicago Bear. He's a Bear guy.
I can't see it. What was it?
Right, you can't see this right here. This helmet, this Chicago Bears helmet.
I didn't see it. What is that? I don't know. I'm just messing with you.
I was gonna bring it closer. I was gonna put it on.
And then politicians and people that have come through too. So I mean, there's a lot of storied history with TSU, and I'm thankful. I know Coach Jackson. Everybody's happy to be here and grow this program. And before we get off, Anthony, thank you for having me. I enjoyed it. It's always good seeing you. Coach Jackson. I get to see him every day, but they're on vacation right now, so I won't get to see him for a couple of weeks.
Well,
I'm still working though, Anthony.
Yeah, I know you're still
working in my
he's
office.
sitting at home. He's enjoying himself. He went and saw a nice show yesterday. He's
my daughter. Yeah,
he went to see his daughter.
Oh yes. Tell us that. What
she came first runner up.
You know what? Let's brag a little.
You know what? No, I mean, she was tough for her because the girl was a little older and she competed, and she, when you get down to the end of it, her mom's like in her seat just sweating, and all of a sudden another girl won, but she was first runner up. Very proud of her performance. She was outstanding. I mean, brought tears to my eyes with her performance, but it was a teaching moment for her. So I was able to share with her what the great ones do, because in her house, she has downstairs a dance studio, and that was made specifically for her, but I don't see her in it enough, so it's a time that if you really want to be great at what you do, this is what the great ones do. They go spend that time away from the coaches and everybody else to work on things. And I think she gets it now, because that feeling that she had, that was the first time she hadn't won everything in a year and a half. So now all of a sudden that streak got broke. So I like I was trying to explain to Michelle, my wife, that, hey, look, here's a great teaching moment for us, for her, and to have her understand if this is what she really wants to do, because it seemed like it's her all-consuming passion. This is where this has to go. And so it was good. It was really good.
You win or you learn. You win or you learn. And it's
you don't lose.
You never lose. Coach, thank you as always. Dusty, it's a pleasure. You have an open invitation anytime you want to jump back on. You are invited. So thanks again. Sports Fluent, the Coach at AK. Until next week.